Book Club. Hey there, this is Dan from One Man Book Club with Adrian Tchaikovsky's latest trilogy, Shards of Earth, Eyes of the Void, Lords of Uncreation. I can't count. This is the final architecture. This is his latest trilogy, and okay, Adrian Tchaikovsky, I don't know how you do this, but that was really, really dense and intense and suspenseful. I probably need to stop being impressed by Adrian Tchaikovsky and just plan on being impressed, because each time I read one of his stories, I am blown away by the originality, the commitment to detail he delivers to every book. My first experience with him was this short fantasy novella called Made Things, and I remember being shocked at how skillfully he was able to build this completely unique and fascinating world in under 200 pages. I remember thinking, what could he do in 600 pages? Well, it turns out he can do a whole lot. Now, if you're not familiar with Adrian Tchaikovsky and you're a fan of big and detailed science fiction and fantasy stories, then you probably want to give him a try. After Made Things, I read Children of Time and Children of Ruin. They were so good, but so heavy. I mean, I gave myself some time to cleanse my palate, I guess 2 years. His books are his books are a lot. That's how long it took me to cleanse my palate. But after a couple years after those two books, I was ready to jump into the final architecture. And it was a lot. It was exceptional, but it was a lot. Now, it's a fantastic story told across 3 600-page books. A ragtag group of mismatched characters working on a beat-up old space salvage vessel for hire sign on for what should be this simple job and instead become the central figures of a cross-species battle for survival of all sentient life in the galaxy. Someone has to step up to be the hero. It might as well be the Misfits. The story's inspiring, enlightening, uplifting, exciting, and heroic. It begins strong, grows in the middle, and nails the landing in book 3. That is the exceptional part. The a lot part is everything else. I think I was probably 40% through book 1 before I could comfortably explain what was going on, who was who, when things were happening, and who they were happening to. It's one of those very detailed world-building books that you either love or you hate. I tend to love them. I have friends who tend to hate them. I say just know what you're getting into. For me, the complexity is part of the brilliance, and figuring it out is part of the fun. Now, one of the coolest things was the detail Adrian Tchaikovsky gives to the actual science of space travel merged with the made-up science of the world he created. He did the same thing in Children of Time. He has this amazing ability to understand the most complex concepts of advanced math and physics and then give plausible applications to what we understand as theoretical, turning science fact into very, very clever science fiction. I was so impressed with the final architecture. The story was, like I said, complex, terrifically complex. And it took a lot of brain sweat to read the trilogy. Was it worth it? Yes. Will I read them again? Probably not. That was just hard to read, and once was enough for me. But there is some violence. There's no significant sexual content. There's a whole universe worth of F-bombs, though. I guess even space creatures in the future still know how to swear like sailors. Anyway, Final Architecture, Shards of Earth is book 1. It's best for 18 and up. Happy reading, everyone.